Makaylah Rogers here, co-founder of MindShift.money, and I've just gotten back from an amazing afternoon walk with Lady Frankie, who you can see behind me wandering in the woods now. And this walk was particularly reflective for me because there was a time in my life, I should say, when I didn't have the ability to go for an afternoon walk. Not only because of the ability to have that freedom to just go for a walk in the beautiful Rocky Mountains whenever I wanted to, but due to the fact that I actually didn't have the ability to physically. I had been prescribed by my doctors not to walk, and if I did walk, I was told I had to walk at the pace of a snail. And even if I walked, say, 50 meters on the beach and I would try and get my energy up, I would have to be carried all the way back to the car. Now, this was an extremely difficult time in my life, and the reason that I was prescribed not to walk is because my organs were shutting down, and we were preventing my body from shutting down any further. This had started when I started getting ill and had various symptoms, and it was diagnosed that I actually had a paralyzed stomach, and my stomach functioning had actually shut down. I had food still in my stomach that wasn't able to be processed. I had lost a lot of weight, and I was about to be admitted into hospital. However, I wanted to have a home therapy, and when I went to the doctors, they told me that I needed to get a pacemaker put in. And at the age I was 20 at the time, and I decided that I didn't want a pacemaker at the age of 20 that would be with me for the rest of my life. So I decided that, and my family, that we would find some other cure and an ability to cure this. However, what then unfolded was about 1 year to 2 years of intense healing. We found a professor on the east coast of Australia. I had a protocol created by that gentleman. I had various other practitioners and healers that were working with me of various different forms. I won't go into it here because it's a long list, but I'm incredibly grateful for a few things through this experience. Number one, I had built up somewhat of a security buffer at the time, and this is why it is so important to be able to protect yourself in times like these, because I was 20, I thought I was absolutely invincible, I was doing real estate sales, I was having the time of my life, and then all of a sudden I got to the point where I couldn't walk, I couldn't get out of bed, and I had no energy, and I was losing weight fast, incredibly fast, and we didn't see it coming at all. I certainly didn't. So what happened is that we actually went through quite a lot of money solving this for me and through my health concerns. As you can imagine, any kind of unexpected event can take a lot of cash out of your accounts and really kind of take away from the plan that you had set. I had set that I was going to be financially free in a few years. I certainly didn't plan on having the buffer that I was building to begin investing actually need to be used. Again, I thought I was invincible. However, I had saved quite a bit of money in my security account, but not enough. And here's the important lesson that I want to get across, is the lesson of having a security buffer. And the point is that any money is great. Any money in your security account is great. However, you want to have at least 3 months' expenses. Now, at this point, I didn't have enough to sustain myself. I actually needed family. I needed family and my mom and different members to actually chip in and help me through this time of need. And I'm incredibly grateful for that, because without that, I wouldn't be here today. I would have been admitted into hospital. Again, it took a lot of money to actually get me back to good health and to go the natural route and to do what we needed to do. I had private health, but that didn't cover the route that we wanted to go. And I, again, didn't want a pacemaker put in my stomach to make my stomach actually work again. So the importance of a security buffer is very real to me. It has been a very real experience actually needing that security buffer, and I didn't have any insurances at the time. 20 years old, didn't think I needed any insurances. Again, completely thought I was invincible, and I witnessed this not only as a 20-year-old, but happening for people of all ages, still thinking that they're invincible. I had private health care, but I didn't have anything above that. So it's incredibly necessary to actually have a security buffer, not to expect that you're going to have a life crisis or something happen, but to secure yourself. I really believe in safety and security and protection in all areas of life, especially financial, not only emotional, not only physical, but also financial. And I really hope that that gets across in this. I never thought that there'd be a day that I couldn't walk and couldn't get out of bed and that food wasn't even going through my stomach anymore. I never expected that, but it happened. And I'm so grateful that I had a little bit of money to help me through that time, and then had my family there. Because if I didn't have family there, I would have been in a very difficult situation. And going forward, I am incredibly grateful to be continuing to build my security account, to know that no matter what happens in my life, I'm going to be safe and secure and be financially safe and secure and be okay through that journey and whatever happens. And I'm also incredibly grateful to have learnt the power of having the right amount of insurances in place. Not too much, not too little, but the exact right amount. And seeing the power of that by going through something without having that in place, and seeing my family struggle and my mom struggle and actually struggle through actually having to financially invest in my health. You know, like we talk about investing in your future, in your financial future. I had to move that money to actually invest in my health, and so did my family, and I watched that struggle, and I never want to have to see that again. I never want to have to see my kids go through that, my family, my friends, anyone ever go through that again. So yeah, it's incredibly important. And number one, have money in your security buffer. Luckily, I had no debts at the time, so that wasn't a concern. However, I know for a lot of people it's a huge concern, is paying off the debts and the money that they don't have, that they already spent and now they have to pay back. So make sure that you're killing your debts. Make sure that you have a security account. Again, having some money in there is better than no money, but you really want to get it up to at least 3 months. Personally, myself, I'm building it up to 2 years, having gone through an experience myself that I really saw the devastating effects of not having security. And number 3, making sure that you protect yourself with the right amount of insurances. That's something I didn't have in place that I will in the future, for anything that happens in my future for my family to come. So yeah, I am incredibly grateful today for being able to go for a walk, and it's an amazing experience to actually be walking through the forest and realizing there was a time in my life where I couldn't do this. I couldn't do the basic thing of walking. And it's a enlightening and humbling experience.